Welcome back to this house of fashion. Hope you have a wonderful day. Today's episode is going to be based on how to cut a fitted gown, of which the down part is a cord net. You can see this is a cord net, and the upper part is a velvet fabric, as you can see. So the down part is just a fish shape. You can see, you might be looking at it as if it's a 6 pieces, but no, it's not a 6 pieces, it's just a fish. And this is the shape. Let me open it for you to see. There is the shape. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to fold your fabric into two. Here, this is 21.5 inches. Of the wideness of this now is 43 inches. Then when you fold it into two, it's 21.5 inches. First thing you do on the fabric is to take the wideness of the waist measurement. The first thing you're going to do is to take the waist measurement. My waist measurement here with the seam allowance is 11 inches. As you can see, with the seam allowance is 11 inches. So after then, you take the hip point. This is the hip point. You can see this is 9 inches for the hip point. You can see it. After taking the hip point, the next thing to take is the wideness of the hip. The wideness of the hip here with the seam allowance is 13 inches, as you can see. The wideness of the hip with the seam allowance is 13 inches. So the next thing to do is to take the knee point. The knee point here is 20.5 inches, as you can see. You can see it. It's 20.5 inches. Then after the waist measurement at upper part here, the hip point, then the wideness of the hip, then the knee point, then the wideness of the knee. You have to take the wideness of the knee so that it won't be too tight. The wideness of the knee here is 11.5 inches, as you can see. So the hip measurement here is 44 inches. This is 11 inches. You know, it's going to be in 4 places. That is going to give us 44 inches. So the remaining here, the remaining measurement is going for the seam allowance, which is the same thing as the sewing allowance. So that is why I make it of 40 inches here for the wideness of the knee, so that the shape is going to come out. The wideness of the knee here is 40 inches, and the remaining measurement is going for the seam allowance. So then you're going to cut out this particular one again for the back, leaving the zip allowance aside. Then the next thing that remains here is to go to the main purpose of the dress, because the upper part is the main purpose of the dress. As you can see, this is as simple as it has been explained. Then after this, now I'll be cutting this on the velvet, because I'll be using velvet to do the facing, and that is what I've done already here. You can see. So I'll be using this to make a facing for this particular one. You can see. So the same thing applicable to the back also. So now I'm going straight to the upper part. So I'll be using this to cut out the pattern before placing it on the fabric. This is the length of the half cut. The length of the half cut is 16 inches. You can see. Then the first thing I will be doing here is the shoulder length. The shoulder is 7.5 inches. That is going to be 15. Then I'll be using half inch for the shoulder slant. The half inch for the shoulder slant. So as you can see, so from here I'm taking the armhole, and the armhole measurement here is going to be 7.5 inches. So from this armhole, I'll be taking my bust measurement, which is 40 inches. You can see this is 40 inches. Then the seam allowance of 2 inches. Seam allowance of 2 inches. So the waist measurement here, the waist measurement is going to be 32 inches. The waist measurement is 32 inches and I'll be using 8 inches. 8 inches in 4 places, and that's what I'll. So this is 8 inches with the seam allowance. I'll make use of 3 inches of seam allowance here because it has a princess cut, so you have to have enough allowance at the waist area here. So now I'm going to connect the lines together. So now this is the sketching. As you can see, this is the shoulder slant, the armhole, the bust measurement with the seam allowance, then the waist measurement with the seam allowance. Then I'll be cutting it out now. So after this, the first thing you're going to do is to take the measurement from the shoulder to the breast point. The first thing you're going to do, that is 9.5 inches. Then the next thing is the distance of the two busts, which is 7 inches. You can see. So these are the lines we're going to follow, this and this. Ignore all these points, ignore them, just ignore them. So this is the distance of the two busts and this is the breast point to this area. So the next thing you're going to do after this is to take the measurement of 4 inches away. This is 4 inches. So from this 4 inches now, I'm going to take the sketching to the breast point here, then to the waist measurement. So like this. From here, I'm going to connect the lines together. No, from here to here is 4 points. I'll be taking 4 points off. Then from here to the breast point here, then you can see you can see that I'm going to connect the lines now. You see, then from here now to the length of the half cut. So but here we're going to determine the bustier cut. So we're going to determine the bustier cut, and that is why I said we need enough allowance at the waist area here, because we're going to take out 2 inches here. Now what we had was 3 inches. So by taking 2 inches out now, we still have 1 inch for the seam allowance. So now from here now, from this point here, from this point here, I'm going to connect the lines together. You can see this is the cup. You can see. So by the time I cut it out now, you're going to see the shape properly. So you can see. Then this area now, this from here to here will be out. You can see now. Then we will be joining this back. So for these points not to be too sharp, I'm going to shape it out by rounding it a little bit. Just take your scissors, then you round it a little bit. You can see that it's not something much that I cut out. Just shape it out. Then you're going to rejoin it back. So by joining it, this is going to give you the breast cup. I'll be cutting the back now. By placing this, I will use this to cut out the back. After that, then I'll be placing this on the fabric to cut it out. After placing the front to cut out the back, leaving zip allowance. So after leaving zip allowance of 1 inch here, then the difference between the back and the front here is the waist allowance, because at the front waist allowance I added 3 inches of waist allowance. Meanwhile, the 2 inches out of 3 inches for the front is going for the breast cut. You see it when I'm cutting it out. The back will only have 1 inch of seam allowance, and that is what I added here. So then I'll be cutting it out. After doing the front together, when you place it with the back, it's going to give you the same measurement. So the next thing that remains here is to cut out the neckline. So now to cut out the neck, I'll be leaving 3 inches here. I'll be leaving 3 inches. Then the remaining length will be going for the wideness of the neck. Then the deepness of the neck, I'll be making use of 9 inches. You can see it, the wideness. The deepness of the neck, I'll be making use of 9 inches. You can see. So from here now, I'll be sketching out the shape. So here is the sketching of the neckline. You can see. You can see the shape. Then when I cut it out, you're going to see the way it's going to turn out. Now this is the shape. Let me open it for you to see. You can see it. You can see the shape. I have different shapes of neckline. I'll be putting the link under the description of this video, so make sure you watch it to know how to cut different kind of necklines. So I'll be using this now to cut out the back neck. So to cut out the back neckline, I'll be placing this on it. So this, I'll be using this to determine the wideness of the back also. Then the deepness the deepness of the back is going to be 2 inches. Then I'll be connecting 2 lines together. So now this is 2 inches to this area, and this is also 2.5 inches, depending on how you want the back neck to be. Then but I'll be using these 2 inches. So now this is the cutting of the back neck. Welcome back. After placing all the patterns on the fabric, this is the result. You can see. As you can see, this is the princess dart. Then this is the sweetheart neck. So I close this area with a V-net. You can see it. I doubled it, then I put it at the middle, at the center of this area. So you can see the sleeve. You can make yours bigger than this. It depends on how you want it. Just make the sleeve bigger so that at this area it will be more full. You can see it, but here this is the size that I want, and that is why I cut it that way. And here is the fish shape at the down part. This down part now, you can decide to slit your own, but here I didn't slit mine. So it depends on how you want yours to be. And here is the back. As you can see, this is the back, and this is this zip allowance I left while cutting it out. So here is the end of the tutorial. As you can see the style, how beautiful it is. So if you like it so far, make sure you subscribe to my channel for those people that are watching for the first time, and also make sure you share this tutorial for the benefit of others. So thank you for watching. See you in my next class. Bye.